Well, hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. This is Diane Covington. I'm going to share with you guys a story that I actually sent out to my unit about 10 years ago. And I was cleaning out some files over the weekend, and I came across this file that had like inspirational stories and stuff that I'd found was just kind of unique. And I came across this story, and it reminded me of something that would be very appropriate the last week of June. So I want you just to take a second and relax. And what I could do is I could scan this and try to post it on our Quantum Leap Facebook page. But I just want you to listen to this. The title of the story is, "What does our unit," meaning my Dynamite Mary Kay unit, "have in common with a goose?" And so I'm just going to share with you this story. It says, "In the fall, when you see geese heading south for the winter, flying along in a V formation, you might be interested in knowing what has been discovered about why they fly that way. Well, it's been learned that as each bird flaps its wings, it creates uplift for the bird immediately following. By following in a V formation, the whole flock adds a much greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. So people who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they are going quicker and easier because they're traveling on the thrust of one another." I'm going to say that part again. So when people who share a common direction and a sense of community can get there, they're going to get there quicker and easier because they're traveling on the thrust of one another. So whenever a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and the resistance of trying to go it alone, and it quickly gets right back into the formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird immediately in front of them. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation with those who are heading the same way we're going. When the lead goose gets tired, he rotates back in the wing and another goose flies point. It pays to take turns doing the hard jobs, with people or with geese flying south. The geese honk from behind to encourage those up front. Did you know that? That's why they're honking, not saying speed it up. The geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. What do we say when we honk from behind? And finally, when a goose gets sick or is wounded by gunshot or falls out, two geese fall out of formation and follow that geese down to help and protect him. They stay with him until he's either able to fly or until he dies. And then they launch out on their own or with another formation to catch up with their group. If we all have the sense of a goose, we will stand by each other like that. And you know, when I read that story, I thought, wow, I never realized how much we have in common. We do travel on the thrust of one another, and our unit support and our pride are irreplaceable. So I want to tell you guys, set your sights high and never, never let go of your dreams. Dreams come true if you decide to make them come true. Thank you for being part of our V formation, because you do make a difference. And keep in mind, the only reason we are where we are by the daily habits we choose to take. It isn't our director's fault, our recruiter's fault, the town we live in, our supportive or unsupportive spouse. It's not any of that. Yes, we all have life. Yes, we all have circumstances. Could it be easier? Maybe. But you know what? If you truly, truly want something different, then focus not on the activity, focus on the outcome. What does it take to get there? But you got to figure out where there is. What is it that you want? If you want to be a red jacket by the end of this month, and that is the outcome, and you have a team of one, then the goal is, I need to add 2 to my team. So once you know the goal and the outcome, then you can go back and look at the activity. But sometimes we get seduced by activity and just say, well, I was on the phone all day. Well, we can be on the phone all day, but if we're not saying specifically who can I call to book for a party in the next 7 days, who's spontaneous, which of my girlfriends will throw a quick party together, which of my neighbors could I deliver packages to tonight, if that's the outcome, that's a totally different activity. So keep in check. We do actually have a lot in common with the goose. Stay in formation, honk from behind to encourage those ahead of you. Know that if you try to pull out of the flock and go do it your own, it's going to be a lot harder. And that we literally, when we share a common direction and that sense of community, we can get where we want to go quicker and easier because we're all going on the thrust of each other. Thanks, you guys, for calling in today. Have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.